Hello guys, my name is Raul Francois.
My name's Simpanizer.
And my name's James Fian. Today we're going to be talking to you about the Hawthorne effect. What the Hawthorne effect essentially is how a worker, if they're valued, is going to produce. Will their productivity get better if they're valued? Or if they're overworked, will their productivity get worse? This came about in the late 1920s. It was a study conducted by Elton Mayo, and it came about in the Hawthorne Western Electric's plant in Chicago. They basically wanted to see, is their method of what they're doing at the moment of not treating their workers well, is that maybe the reason why they're not producing as much? If they start to treat them better, will they then produce more? Will business get better? Will it flourish? It started off just as a lighting level study of if you changed the effect of lighting on the workers, if it was brighter or darker, would their production change? This was then adapted to include ventilation, to include care for the workers, if the worker feels valued. And once these were all included, it basically turned into the social question of, if I'm valued as a worker, will I then produce more? This is so important in a management perspective and in a business perspective, because this can make or break a business on how your employees feel and how hard they work. What we're going to see today is some examples. The first example being how, if an employee is not treated well, how that can affect their productivity. The second example is going to be, if they are treated well, how that can possibly increase their productivity. And then you can make up your own mind into how important you feel that is. We've got some examples with big companies, and we have some examples with, companies on a lesser scale. One example would be my colleague Sim here. He has an example with his dad, if he'd like to take it from here.
So my father, he has a bathroom and kitchen business, which is very high retail and involves a lot of selling. So the main thing about that is obviously selling the products, but so for new employees who come into the business, they struggle with first the knowledge. So it's important, I've seen it myself working there, that my dad or a high member of staff help to train these employees, because I've seen employees who come into the business thinking they know it all, who kind of don't want help. So I've seen them not sell very much, and then resulting in them obviously being fired for not doing their job correctly. But on the other hand, I've seen employees who accept that they need the help to learn the product knowledge, so they thrive on that. And then with the help, I've seen them kind of enjoy someone like an authority teaching them the knowledge, and they feel valued in such that
and then they sell more.
Exactly, they sell more, they're better at their job, they have more product knowledge, they can inform the customer more about it, so that helps business grow even more. Revenue goes up and everyone's happy in the business.
And we also done some research. Ralph here has done some extra research into the Hawthorne effect that he wants to speak about.
So basically, what Sam just was saying on, I'm just gonna go on more that it's if a manager give more attention, it's more attention you give the employees, more high productive. Those employees gonna do more, they're gonna work more if you show them that you care about them, like Sam say about his dad. If you show that your employees that you really care about them, or you give them welfare, you give them days off, that you show that you really care about them, they're gonna most likely wanna work more and give you more high quality capacity to work than just not doing anything. Let's say if you're a manager, just not really into your employees, or not really paying attention to what's going on in the workplace. Employees not really gonna do a lot of stuff, because there's not that many people that are been watching them, so they see that they're not watching or by observing by other employees or supervisor or manager, they most likely not gonna do the work, because they know they're not being watching by they're not gonna do the work. So basically it's Hawthorne effect. It's more telling how managers could react more with the employees and how they can just do the job better way.
And I think that's a really important point, because we can look at it from a business standpoint, but just in life anyway, it's the golden rule: treat people how you want to be treated. If you're going to treat your workers with disrespect, you can't expect them to work for you well and produce well. Like I'm pretty sure if your dad done that, he wouldn't have a business to run. But like if I'm going to treat the employee how I would like to be treated as an employee, how I'd like my family to be treated when they're employees, then the employee is going to feel valued. They're going to produce more. The business is going to flourish. And I'm sure, in our class, we want to be someday in a management role or an ownership role. And when we are in this role, we need to exercise what was learnt from this Hawthorne study. Like I said, even though there was flaws in the study of the scientifics of it, of the lighting levels and things like that, the fact that it boded the question, how are we going to treat our workers? Will they produce more? We understand now that, if we treat people with respect, with care, if they have days off when they're sick, then they're going to be less stressed, they're going to produce more, and they're going to want to work more. And that's what we're basically going to show you with some examples today.
Guys, what are you doing? Why are you doing your work? Come on, we've got deadlines, we've got 2 hours left of the day. We've got 2 hours left.
I done my work. I was just talking to Ralph.
Where's this data analysis? Come on, where is it?
I'd done that. I was just talking to Ralph because his daughter was sick. I don't know if she went to
It doesn't look like you've done it.
Yeah, he just asked me about how was my kick.
Guys, I don't want to hear it. Ralph, you have your lunch 1 hour a day.
I mean, come on.
Bro, you've had your break 1 hour a day. Listen, if you want to talk, you guys can leave now. And I can
You guys only leave for 2 minutes.
Listen, 2 minutes, 2 hours. I can get someone else to do the job if you want me to do it. It's just not good enough, alright? I don't want to catch you doing this again. Get the work done.
What is up with this?
Yeah, bro, I'm not working for that guy, man.
This is ridiculous, man. Come on.
Hour left, bro. Clock in, clock out.
Yeah, because it's only 2 minutes. We just talk for 2 minutes, and then that's a problem.
If he thinks I'm gonna do my work after that, he's got nothing on him.
So how was your weekend, man?
Yeah, it was good. I went to the game, which was nice.
Yeah, what game was that?
QPR Liverpool.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was. I mean, they didn't win, but got to hang out with the boys, get away from the family, bro. You know how it is.
Yeah, I know it is. I was trying to go, but my kid got sick. I had to go to the doctor with her, and then.
She good?
Yeah, she's good now. She's getting better now. But it's like every
Stress
time.
going to the doctors.
It's like every time I have to go to the doctor with her because she be having allergies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
She be coughing and
Oh yeah, sounds like you had a hard weekend.
I know, man. But I've been want to get out though. Hopefully next week. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think a few of us are going to the game if you want to come.
Oh yeah.
Next week. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah,
No problem.
Alright, boys, how are you today?
Good,
Go, boss.
Good, boss. Good.
Hard day, how are you?
Good. Keep working hard, Good. Good.
How are we getting on here?
Yeah, we just finished that up there. You can see the profit margins and that. We've done that. Ralph had just finished his one as well.
Yeah, I was looking at the financial wise of the company right now. We're looking good, pretty good. The revenue is pretty high, so everything is good right now.
Always great work.
I think we're gonna an extra hour today, and we could get started on how next week's one's gonna go.
Yeah, the next project.
Yeah.
That's perfect. You two are my best workers in the company. You set my standards. It's amazing, boys. Class.
Yeah,
it is.
Absolutely amazing. Just it's in for tomorrow, but if you finish it today, you'll have to come in tomorrow. If you finish it today, I'll give you a week off next week, boys. Just the hard work.
You know what? We was actually gonna go to the game next week as well, so that would be good.
That would be great.
Boys, for all the hard work, you guys deserve it. Take off next week.
Oh, man. You the best.
Yeah, we got you that best boss in the world mug.
You the best.
Boys, if you need anything else, help or anything, just let me know. I've got you, boys. Alright.
Hey, thank
Perfect,
you,
boys. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I'm gonna finish up on this, get this done, bro.
Yeah, I know this.
He is the man.
Yeah, he is the man. I'm trying to finish this right now, and then I can
Get out, relax.
You just don't know how much I've been waiting for this, man.
They say a bad boss can, improve your time.
Yeah,
I don't know.
but I don't know about this one.
Yeah, no, this one.
He's the best.
I wouldn't work anywhere else.
So as you can see in the first scenario, I don't even go to shake their hands to greet them. I just straight away on them for not doing their job. I'm like shouting at them. I'm not happy with them. I'm not even asking about how their day is, and you can tell like by their reactions, they don't want to work for me. They don't want to do their job, and their productivity is just low. Like like their work could have been poor, could have been amazing, but I didn't even ask them or acknowledge what they're trying to say about their family lives or personal lives. Whereas in the second scenario, I greeted them, I shook their hands, I asked them how they were, how they were getting on, and I think they felt a lot more valued, which is like the whole principle and concept of the Hawthorne effect. And in that case, like I rewarded them as their manager. I gave them a week off, and they felt valued and they wanted to work for me. So their productivity was good. They said they were finished a day early, which is a whole principle of the Hawthorne effect.